To go over is one of the basic things that I see people doing is this is called laser guard, and this is just Lexan film, like it's just the protected film on top of Lexan. Okay, so two things: people bolt stuff up when the film's not taken off. So in this scenario, when you try to pull this off, the film essentially gets caught all underneath the washer, and then you can never really tear it all the way off. So you can see it's still there. Okay. So what you want to do is, and it's the same thing when you're bolting things together, okay? So like when you peel this off, actually with this brake line, I'll show you with this. You try to peel this off, you can see you're never going to get away from that. And it creates a lot of work, and people have to bolt things together twice and 3 times to try, because you can't pull that off. So whenever you're bolting something up, you know, pay attention to what you're doing, and you use this copper knife, and essentially what it is it'll cut the plastic film. Let's say if we were putting a bolt in here, it'll cut the plastic film, but it won't cut the it won't mark the stainless. So then you can pull that around. Now what that ends up allowing is then we don't need to remove all the plastic cover, so we don't damage the product. And then it also is, we don't spend a lot of labor taking off all this covers on something that in turn it should be delivered to the customer, and the customer takes it off, so then they get a proper finished product. Same thing with the Lexan, except obviously copper's harder than plastic, so you know you're going to try to take this off, and that's how it turns out. But you're going to have to just kind of peel around it. So this is what I do, is get an edge around a hole, and you kind of pull around that. And there's no really great way of doing this other than this. So I'd kind of peel that around. Alternatively, you can kind of come in from the edge. So if you have an edge here, you can just pull that off there, and then you know you can push it back down over top of the bolt, and it's done. So like I said, you can come in through the edge, pull it off, put the bolt in there, and then push it back down. Now keep in mind there is a bottom side to this, and some people aren't aware of that, I guess, because you can't tell, let's say because of this film, but there's a bottom side. So again, do the same thing there. Now another thing what I see people doing with the Lexan and stuff is this will just get damaged just from like dust and wiping it off. So compared to stainless, it's really important to keep this film on. So but I've seen people, like the first thing equipment does is gets delivered, and they take this film off, and what it ends up becoming is a nightmare to clean everything. So again, try to keep as much film on it as you can, because it protects the product. Keep in mind what's getting bolted, because like if you had, let's say, a strip getting bolted up underneath the underside and there's only a little narrow stuff showing, it might make sense to rip all that off, right? So you have to kind of think about that. But especially, I don't want to see people bolting stuff together with film on it, because it becomes an impossible task trying to take it off. Like you see here, it's just, you know, that's not proper. So really, you need to be mindful of where you're bolting that on. Take the film off and then bolt it on, and you can lay the film back down on top of it if you want.